the hell? Oh, that the hell. That's a full of 3. Argons, MMX 300s, Neumann NDH 20s, X2HRs. This is the Modemic 5. That's a laptop. I'm Zeos, and welcome to my channel. So the hell, the shit hell, to go to hell, shit hell. How do I put this? I gave this a full recommendation. This is a little full of 3. It's $100. And it's the absolute bare minimum you need to get into audiophilia and gaming at the same time. Like, it's a solid DAC amp combo. Doesn't really blow my mind. Outputs, inputs, a microphone. I just review. It's got a top knob. It's great. My question is, how did Schiit put out this for $90 more? So, right, not double the price, almost double the price, and yet it is significantly better than the full of 3. Because that's the thing now. I gave that a recommendation. Probably the video came out a couple days before this one, or right before this one. I might have done in a row. I don't know. I can't see the future. And I'll walk you around the unit. Let me walk you around. Let me give you the tour. Big knob on top. It says hell, and it's actually centered. That says Fulla, and it's not centered. Schiit logo. Big knurled aluminum black knob with a very well indicated thing. Some speed holes on the side. Gotta have those. Red and black. This one was only gray and black, so that means it's obviously not as good. Maybe that's where the $90 went. You have a knob on the front. A very, very long, skinny knob, which is good because it's so long and skinny that if it wasn't long, it would be real just skinny, and then no one wants that. If you're gonna be long, you gotta be, well, long. Enough penis metaphors. Microphone input here. You get the source selector, whether you want it to be USB or the line in on the back. Here. Does that break that? I actually didn't test. It does not break that. We are good. High-low gain, which that doesn't have, because this actually has power. A full-size 1/4-inch output, because 3.5 is fine, but if you have like an audiophile headphone, which is what they're aiming for with the hell, you're going to want that. It comes with this adapter, by the way, which lets me plug all this stuff into the front. Otherwise, you're left with just these two. So it comes with this splitter. And currently, I have the MMX 300s, which are a legit gaming headphone. Like, look, microphone. And it has a stupid proprietary wire that I hate. I hate it. Fucking hate it. But the end is a 4-pole, which is, this is fine. For laptops have 4 poles, and like if you have a Xbox controller or something you can plug this into, that's fine. Your phone, that's fine. But unfortunately, they did not see. What I would like to have seen is to add, okay, 1/4-inch is fine, but also add like a 4 pole, just boom. But instead they give you this, and they give it to you with the 1/4-inch adapter, so you can adapt like so, and then I can plug this headphone back in like so, and that's the front of the unit. Let's move around to the back if I can swing it. I'll unplug this for a second. You have 2 3.5mm ports. This is your line in. I don't know why, but they reversed which order they work. It's the same thing here, only they're backwards now. So now you've got line in on the outside, and then you have a variable output, which we'd use for powered monitors or something else here, which unfortunately that switch in the front is not for that. Instead they give you, I don't get it, because to switch between USB and line in means you'd be USB and line in, and it would be nice if that was a switch between headphone and that, so you could switch between your speakers, but you can't, which means you have to unplug your headphones still again, whatever. Main power switch on the fucking back, because shit, am I right, Satan? They just can't seem to just figure it out. We don't want it on the back. Hey, shit. We don't want it on the back. We don't want it on our backside. You'll notice that there's not 1, but 2 USB micros. And I didn't get the box down. It's up there. And I think it comes with 2 USBs. And the reason for that is, one is data, but it's not enough to power it. This one, you got 2 USBs as well. 1 for data, 1 for power. If you're using just the line in, you had to send the powered unit's power. You had to power through the power USB power. This unit, however, requires, if you're going to use the USB and not the line in, that you run both. So you have to basically have two. And then you got a little red LED tucked away in there, making it look all satanic, like there's a ritual going on inside your jack amp. And I tried plugging in just the one, and the computer sat here and going, what? And then I plugged in the second one, which I have just looped it out here for power, and it was like, all right, I'll turn on now. And I'm amazed, because those are the only power inputs, and usually for an amplifier, you need a little more, because USB assumes the lowest possible common denominator of like 5 volt, half an amp, which is not a lot. When you supply a power brick, then you could do anything the fuck you want. But this is relying basically on 2 USB leads, so at most it can assume, at least it has to assume 5 volt, 1 amp. And it can produce a hell of a lot of power with that. It reminds me a little bit of the IFI Zendak, which I will link in the description. The IFI Zendak is not specifically for gaming, but I'd recommend it high. Like, that's 130, this is 190. If they sounded similar, which I'm not saying they don't, this lacks that bass boost. But the features you get on this just slightly alter your perspective of what you want to look at. Either it's the Zendak or you're looking at the HEL. So let's just stick with the MMX 300s for a second, which, by the way, these are the Dakoni Choice leather pads, which if you get the MMX 300s Goldie, you should put the Choice leather pads on. Let's flip this microphone down. Let me see if I can all tab to that. Right there is the microphone indicator, which is this. So if I lower that, boom, then there's no microphone indicator if I turn it up. So that's one thing that it adds over the full. So let's see where our $90 goes. Because it has basically the same functionality. This adds 3 switches and 1 extra knob. And the knob is for microphone gain. You just have it's raw in this. You got to deal with it in Windows or wherever you're plugging in. Here you have a knob in the front. A little bit more convenient if you just want to lower your microphone. No mute. If it had just a mute, that'd probably be enough for most people. But most microphones like this have a mute on the actual thing. So there, now it's muted. So let's turn up the volume. Gain on low. Now, by the way, having the Hackers soundtrack playing while you're reviewing for gaming is just like this. I'm going to remove what is essentially the only gaming headset I have here, because I really feel like the Schiit HEL isn't specifically designed with those sort of things in mind. I think they want you to go balls to the walls, boys. So Neumann NDH20, $500 set of German mixing headphones, mastering headphones, I should say. My God, the low end is just... I'm on low gain. Now, if I plug in this, the mod mic, to that, you can see over there, hot. We are getting it to work. We can control it there. So if you're using a non-gaming set of headphones like this, or that, or these Argons, or any number of headphones in the world, you can still add a mic. It would just be a little more difficult because you'd run 2 wires up. Or if you had Schiit 9500s and a mod mic, not a mod mic, Schiit 9500 and a V-Moto Boom Pro, still one of the most popular things that I've ever reviewed. Like, people keep buying it. So I'll link to that, but I'm going to put this up to high gain now. Where 2 o'clock was like loud, and we're at about the loudest part of the song, so I can't even get to 11 o'clock. Like, it's just like, it's loud. I don't know how with just 2 USB wires this can push. I mean, these are 150 ohms. I'm pretty sure, you know, that would, like, 12 noon is almost damage worthy. In fact, I didn't even remember what the numbers are. I know this had like a maximum of like 400 milliwatts. What are your specs? Yeah, where the fuck is that coming from? 1200 milliwatts at 16 ohm, which we're not going to concern ourselves with. 32 to 50 is anywhere from a watt to 650 milliwatts. That's power. That is legitimate power. That's not just like a watt is. That's JDS Labs atom power. That's liquid spark power. That's power. Phenomenal cosmic power. Itty bitty living space. All right, let's put these back on for a second, because when I reviewed the Fulla 3, I made it a rather short review because it didn't do anything I expected more than I expected it. It's absolutely fine. It's an entry-level DAC. It sounded decent. It didn't sound like fucking amazing. But this deserves a little bit more on the time, because I'm plugging headphones into it. Oh. All right, I'm going to swap. Actually, I'm going to change tracks before I swap out, because that's a requirement. Postmodern and jukebox. That's a powerful amplifier. That's a powerful amplifier. Why are you on? You don't please be on. You need to be on. And I haven't done this yet, because before this review, I had a couple things out. I'm like, you know what I haven't tested? Let's test argons. So this will be the first run of argons, which are a T50 mod, which are 50 ohm, which means 650 milliwatts. Can the Schiit HEL run argons / T50 mods? Only if the connection works on my thing. I'm at 1 o'clock now. That is not running them. I'm impressed. That's a terrible recording. That's... I mean, if you've never gamed on argons, I feel bad for you, but... Oh, Marilyn Manson, seizure of power from the Resident Evil OSD. Oh, that like breathing low end. Yeah. If that isn't like a surrogate for the Doom soundtrack, then I don't know what is. So, under $200. I think if you order from, I haven't even checked to see if this is on Amazon. I'll link it if it's on Amazon, but I don't think it is. But if it is on Amazon and you get Prime shipping, assuming that it's $190 on shit.com, and then you got to pay for shipping $10 or something, $200 for a DAC amp combo with enough power to drive argons, high-low gain switch, front and rear selector switch, a full-time line out, which is going to those here. I'll give you the demonstration, which I have to reverse it. It's on this side. Let's unplug these. Actually, you know what? The high-low gain does affect the rear. It's very strange how Schiit implements this, because they give you it's a pre-out, which means the volume knob which controls it. But it also means the gains controls it. You could hear low gain is obviously lower. That's just a fixed volume. You would not be using it in this particular scenario. This is just a lot easier than hooking up studio monitors here. You would ideally be hooking up studio monitors, and then this would be your volume control for your speakers. But your headphones are also going to be running, so you got to unplug your headphones. But then your studio monitors, if they're on, are going to be running while your headphones are running. So it's like you're either going to unplug this or you got to shut the speakers off. I wish the front switch wasn't on the Fulla. If you were using USB, it was USB. If you plugged something in to the line in, it override the USB and it worked. I don't know why they didn't just do that for the HEL, because I mean, if I'm reaching behind the unit to plug in an external line in, which I'm assuming not many people here are going to be like, oh, I have to have two things. But I think more people than that are going to want to use this to actually send output to speakers, make this front switch between headphones or pre-out or headphones, and they didn't do that. So that's like the one niggling thing I would change if I could go back to the drawing board with this. But I'm pretty befucking fuddled with the. it kind of feels like there's a heresy in here somewhere. Because think about it. The Schiit Magni 3 and the Schiit Heresy, those are two $100 headphone amplifiers. Both, however, required external power supplies. So I don't know how you manage to squeeze like what is essentially feels like a Heresy into a box that's only powered with USB, and then also throw in a mic gain controlled pre-in and line out. And this is a fucking steal. This could be the gaming equivalent of a... Because I said basically I have nothing to say bad about this, and everyone should just pick one up if you're gaming. If your budget is less restrictive, and you have more than just the basic element of a headphone and mic, that one. It's $90 more. I remember being a fucking broke-ass gamer. We'll spend $700 on a video card, but God forbid we spend like $40 more on anything to do with audio. Bottom of the barrel, that's what we always want. And that's fine if you want this, it's fine. But for shit's fucking giggle fuck's sake, why not buy the hell? For some reason, I thought this was like $250. Or more than that. Like $250 makes a much more sense to go from this, which is like mediocre but bland, but wow, it accomplishes a lot for $100, to this level of power and options. It doesn't have a bass switch either, which I'm kind of in the mood for, which is why I mentioned the IFI Zendak. Because, I mean, these are bass-heavy cans. These are very accurate cans. These are slightly bass-oriented. The MMX 300s are certainly bass-oriented. But if you got Chip 9500s or anything in the Sennheiser 500 series, and you want to play Doom, which is a first-person shooter, and you're not going to play, you know, there's no co-op, there's no enemies. You just want to fucking enjoy slaughtering the hell out of demons. No offense, Satan. But, you know, you flip that IFI X bass on, and your whole chest just goes, death, bring me their skulls. And then, you know, so I mean, if you have already bassy headphones, you don't really need a bass boost. But I think on a gaming setup, you need at least a little bit of tone control. I will link, Schiit sells the Loki, which is a full 4-knob tone control. But you can't use that with this because you'd have to have another source to generate the signal to put into this to the line in. And what's the point of buying this for that if you're gonna, I mean, other than the microphone, because then you could just get a Heresy proper and run it through. Oh my God, my head hurts. Oh my God, my head hurts. Basically, I just wish there was a bass boost on it. All right, can we just fix the camera? Straight, wear it straight. Shit. You did very good shit. You do good shit. It was a point, I remember when I was first getting into this whole audio game, where everybody knew that shit products were shit. And then shit products weren't shit anymore. And now shit products like the new Full of 3 Plus and the Heresy are actually very good. And I've got like that giant fucking Ragnarok 2 sitting there. So that is actually very good. And this is actually very good. So it's sort of like the roller coaster, but we're at a peak now. So at some point they're just going to break again and it's going to be literally turds. But oof. Oh, and shit, if you're watching this, someone on my Patreon chat requested that you make a SIS, which is the little controller for switching things, in this color scheme so it matches the rest of his setup. Which I can kind of agree with. You can't just go making, and I'm going to borrow this. This is the Modius. I'm all about you have this beautiful like silver design going for you, but if you're going to sell people this, then you're going to sell them this, which is like a gray and black, and then you're going to sell this, which is red and black. You got to have everything available and everything. By the way, I'm reviewing this next, and this is going to be interesting because this is their cheap AF balanced DAC, and that's a whole other. If you want to know what that is, and you're just here for gaming, I like gaming. Ignore anything else in this channel because you're going to be real tempted to start spending money. You don't want that. Just focus. Zio says buy this. So just buy this. So I guess the Full of 3 if you're broke. This if you want more power, better. It sounds better. I don't know if they changed the DAC or if the amplifier in this is just so much better that I can hear the difference. But it feels like a full-on upgrade. I like the black knob versus the silver knob too. I think that's better. So thank you, Schiit. I don't remember if you sent this to me. I think you did. I think Schiit sent me the HEL. I bought the Fulla. But it's like, this is dumb. This is too close. They either need to make this $75 and make this $200, or they need to leave this at $100 and make this $250 for me to feel like my brain knows the difference. They're so close at this point. It's like, just spend the extra 40% and get the HEL, because it's a hell of a lot better than the Fulla 3 as far as output, cleanliness, power, switches. It needs more switches. You have no switches. What kind of, just no switch? You have 3 switches. Although I will say this, the switch on the back for power, which will break that because it's USB and it's like, I don't think anyone's ever going to turn it off. There's literally no reason to turn this off. A lot of the Schiit products get warm. I've run this for like a couple hours. Nah. Why? Why shut it off? Why ever shut it off? Unless you just are that OCD person who needs to have everything off at night, like Princess Pasta and her refrigerator. Don't ask. Don't ask questions. But why is there so much cat everywhere? I'm gonna shave my cat. I'm gonna sell her bundle of hair in the yard sale. Speaking of the yard sale, I'm gonna message Schiit, see if they're letting me keep this. Because if they're letting me keep this, I'm probably gonna sell both of these things in the yard sale. Anyone who supports my channel, whether from Patreon or Subscribestar, gets a couple benefits. Basically the $5 tier is the starter tier. You get to see these reviews early, which is great. Sometimes I review something like this, and maybe there's a limited quantity, although I think there's tons of these out there right now. But new products, there's not. When I did the Rebel lamp, there was none. And if you get to see these reviews early, you get to buy them before everyone else sees it when this video goes live, and all of a sudden there's 10,000 views in 24 hours. And it's like, oh shit, we can't make enough HELs. So benefit 1, see these reviews early. Benefit 2, ask me any questions you want on platform. Just message me on Patreon or Subscribestar. Really makes no difference. Subscribestar has the worst messaging system on earth, and Patreon finally updated theirs. It's still not that great. And please don't write me a book. That's all I ask. I'm gonna have to do this in every video because several people wrote me 5,000-word essays describing everything they've ever done ever. And what do I think about these 19-part sections? Oh God. So I will answer your questions, no doubt. Just please format them friendly. And finally, yard sale. Yard sale, videos early. Yeah, yard sale. So the yard sales happen from the 1st to the 10th of every month. Anything that was sent to this channel, either by companies or I've purchased and I'm done with my review, or people have donated things to the channel, which is wonderful when they do that because I've got an extra SU8. Here, I had an extra SU8. Donate it to the channel so you could buy something else. Thank you. I'll buy a house with it. When you want these things, from the 1st to the 10th, I make a video around the 1st. If you're a $5 patron or higher, because there is a higher tier, you get to bid on this. And this is worth $190, but you only want to pay $136.19 because it's got to be an odd off number. And if you're the highest bid at $136.19, you PayPal me at the end of the bidding, and then I ship it to you for free if you live in the United States. The end. You live out of the United States? You want this? You want the Schiit HEL? And you live in Madagascar? Well, bid on it, and you pay half the shipping. If you bid $118.12, and the shipping is $118.12, I divide that in half, and you pay whatever. I can't do the math right now, but you'll still be paying less than this thing costs retail. And most people in Madagascar can't get Schiit gear, so that's actually, it's one of the few ways people international can get things is when they end up in my yard sale, because I'll ship basically anywhere. Although I really hate shipping to Germany. They make me fill out like a power of attorney form for UPS, and it's like, that feels dirty. So yeah, this thing. And then the $10 tier, if you want to go even higher in the price brackets of like, how can I help you, Zeos? Or how can you help me? There's a $10 tier on both Subscribestar and Patreon. Put you in a private Telegram chat on my phone with 300 other individuals if we ever get to that fucking number. And they'll help you as much as I will, or they'll confuse you as much as I will. But either way, I get to answer your questions with my voice, and if you want me to show you something, hey, Zeos, you got the Schiit HEL? Yeah, what's the screw size on the bottom? And I will take a picture. Actually, there's no screws on the bottom. Those are downward screws. Is this only held together with 2 screws here and 1 screw there? Okay, yeah. Now, if you want to have any questions, I will answer them like that on my phone. It's like 27 times a day I check. And there's a bunch of really, really great people in there. So, yeah, that's the $10 tier. and that refreshes every 3 months and you stay in it. And there will be higher tiers for hardware swap, which, like, I wouldn't put this in hardware swap. I put something more rare in hardware swap. We're not there yet, though. We're still in COVID land. When the restrictions lift and you're not afraid to touch something someone else touched, that'll be fine. Although there will be a 3-day shipping. So I guess anything that you coughed on would probably be clean by the time it arrived. Something to consider. Anyway, that wallpaper, which I rushed specifically because I was doing the Schiit HEL, and if you don't put a Helltaker wallpaper on, I haven't played the game yet, by the way. It's on Steam. Zeos, future Zeos. In the description of this video, link the Helltaker game on Steam. All this wild fan art coming from an 8-bit game, and like my whole feed is filled with it, and it's great because satanic girls are hot. Anyway, you can download that wallpaper in the description. If you'd like to find the artists of these original artworks, feel free to use Source Now or IQDB to reverse image search it, because I do edit them like bigger, like just to fit the monitor, but it should still be able to pick out the artists. And yeah, that's it. This thing is surprisingly good for $190. I was expecting it to be just like maybe a little bit more powerful than this, but it's like legitimately cleaner sounding. Cleaner and more like, it can't be equal to the Heresy. It can't be equal to the Heresy, right? I'm not crazy. It's just gotta be, it's good enough. It's gotta be good. But it's actually fucking solid. And I'll see you all tomorrow for another review, because that's how Zeos rolls.